This is the reality behind Zara Dar's viral claim that she quit her academic career and earned $1 million in 60 days from her new life in the spicy content industry. The internet saw the headline, they saw the money, and they declared the creator economy had won a decisive victory over traditional academic life. But the truth, as always, is far less clean than a single number, and it involves hidden agencies, debt, and a highly calculated marketing strategy. The original narrative, the common belief that exploded across every major news outlet and social media feed, was simple and compelling. A dedicated, debt-ridden PhD student in a notoriously low-paying field took a dramatic, controversial leap of faith onto a major subscription site and immediately solved all her financial problems, reportedly bringing in $1 million in just 2 months. It was framed as the ultimate indictment of a broken system where intellectual pursuit is rewarded with poverty, while curated intimacy is rewarded with instant wealth. This belief positioned Zara Dar as a pioneer, a high-level academic who cracked the code, proving that autonomy and massive paychecks were possible by cutting out the institutional middleman. But our job here at Velvet Vice is to peel back the polished layers of a viral story and follow the money, the manipulation, and the mistakes. The superior reality, backed by our deep dive into the business and legal receipts, reveals this was less of an impulsive career change and more of a highly leveraged PR move, one managed by powerful, unseen industry players. We have receipts that contradict the simple debt-free narrative, internal quotes about the burnout of one-on-one messaging, and a complex cross-promotion strategy that reveals a long-term goal far beyond generating subscription revenue. We are going to answer the 3 critical questions the viral headline leaves you with. First, what was the true financial reality behind the highly sensationalized $1 million claim, and how much of it did she actually keep? Second, why did a dedicated PhD candidate, seemingly so passionate about STEM fields, choose such a volatile and extreme career pivot? And finally, how is she now using her spicy content earnings to fund and strategically cross-promote her original academic passions? We'll start with the most shocking reality that will change how you view these viral success stories forever. The $1 million figure is the #1 hook for a reason, but the most shocking element of this story is the invisible layer of management that almost certainly took a substantial cut. It challenges the fundamental narrative of the self-made, fully autonomous creator. The initial viral success of Zara Dar, the sheer speed at which she amassed a massive subscriber count, lines up perfectly with the operational model of what are known in the industry as creator agencies. These are not just publicists, they are highly sophisticated management groups that can turn an unknown face into a top earner almost overnight. According to several unverified industry insiders who've spoken to various podcasts and anonymous forums, many of the top viral creators who experience that kind of immediate, explosive success are not managing their own accounts at all. They are allegedly signed to an agency that takes anywhere from 20 to 50% of their gross revenue. This agency immediately plugs the creator into a vast network, using coordinated cross-promotion from other large accounts and deploying professional chatters, sometimes known as ghost chatters. The ghost chatter system is where the real manipulation and the real money is made. A creator might only spend an hour or 2 a day shooting content, but the actual revenue driver on these platforms is the one-on-one personalized messaging and custom requests, which can easily account for 60 to 70% of a top creator's income. According to an industry expose published on an independent finance blog on January 15, 2025, these agencies staff entire rooms of people, often in other countries, who role-play as the creator, messaging thousands of subscribers simultaneously, cultivating parasocial relationships, and upselling personalized content. When subscribers believe they are chatting with the creator, they are far more willing to drop significant tips and purchase expensive, high-value content. For Zara Dar, this means the $1 million in gross revenue she allegedly brought in over 60 days likely had a few very large holes in it. First, the platform itself takes a 20% cut. That instantly brings the total down to $800,000. If we conservatively estimate an agency cut of 30%, the actual money making it back to the creator's bank account is closer to $560,000 before any tax obligations are met. What this shocking reality reveals is the true meaning of the number. The million wasn't Zara Dar's payout. It was a metric used by a powerful management structure to prove the effectiveness of its own business model. The payout at the end of this shocking section is that the story is less about the creator and more about the marketing machine that can monetize a compelling personal brand faster than any other industry today. But the core story of Zara Dar's financial stability is also misleading, which brings us to the next crucial point. Now that we have established the true scale of the money, let's address the most public-facing point of contradiction, the debt-free claim. The entire emotional engine of the viral story was that Zara Dar, a brilliant PhD student, was crippled by debt and a low academic stipend. She claimed her massive earnings allowed her to pay off her mortgage and purchase a new car almost immediately. But public records and a closer analysis of her own statements suggest a timeline and an amount of debt that simply do not add up to a clean, all-at-once payout. On a podcast recorded on March 1st, 2025, Zara Dar was very open about the $4,000 per month academic stipend she was receiving, stating it was barely enough to live on. This is a common and undeniable truth about the financial struggle in academia. However, in the same interview, she mentioned having a mortgage and significant student loan debt. A debt load that, even with $500,000 of post-fee earnings, would be extremely difficult to clear entirely while also purchasing a new vehicle. According to a report by an independent financial journalist on April 12, 2025, the estimated average mortgage debt for a homeowner in her reported demographic far exceeded the amount she likely received in that first 60-day explosion. What she likely meant, and what the viral media spin carefully omitted, was that the initial revenue made a dent in her debt and provided the liquidity to secure a car, not that she was entirely debt-free on day 61. The mistake here in her own narrative was conflating gross revenue with personal income and using the emotionally potent phrase, "paid off my mortgage," when the reality was likely a substantial reduction. This subtle manipulation of financial language is a hallmark of the creator economy. The payout for this section is the answer to our first question. The $1 million claim was likely a gross revenue figure, and her actual net payout was closer to half that amount, making the debt-free status a carefully edited piece of her PR narrative. This is the calculated pivot that addresses our second core question. Why would a dedicated PhD candidate, seemingly so passionate about STEM fields, choose such a volatile and extreme career pivot? Why would a promising mind focused on hardcore STEM topics abandon that path? It was a simple, logical, and deeply cynical business decision rooted in the financial desperation of academia. Her own emotional and financial struggle was the authentic truth that the agency system leveraged for its massive payout. Zara Dar was open about the lack of respect and the intense financial insecurity she experienced in her academic career. A $4,000 monthly stipend, as she pointed out, is often tied to grueling hours, emotional pressure from supervisors, and years of delayed gratification. In contrast, the subscription content industry offered an immediate, if volatile, solution. It's a system where her body of work, specifically her ability to cultivate a highly profitable persona, was valued 100 times more than her intellectual contributions to a research field. It's what she allowed to generate that explosive initial revenue that an average creator cannot access. The agency didn't just market a content creator, they marketed a dramatic narrative built on a universal struggle, the undervalued labor of the highly educated. The payout for this section is the answer to our second question. The pivot was a calculated business response to the financial instability of academia. leveraging an authentic emotional truth for maximum market traction. The true long game, however, is revealed in what she is doing after the initial financial explosion. The true long-term objective is not just to sell spicy content, it's to build a sustainable personal brand that ultimately transitions back to her true passion, STEM education. This is the strategic cross-promotion that answers our final core question. Having used her industry work to solve the immediate financial crisis and gain a massive, volatile audience, she is now using that audience and the money it generates to fund a new venture.
A high-quality, free YouTube channel dedicated to teaching complex topics like advanced mathematics and physics. This channel, which is not monetized through traditional ads, functions as her intellectual redemption. The income from her subscription site is allegedly being used as seed money and production costs for these passion projects. She's essentially utilizing a controversial revenue stream to finance a non-controversial, altruistic output. It is the ultimate laundering of personal brand, moving from a position of financial controversy to one of public intellectual service. This strategy is highly effective because it transforms her from a subject of moral debate into a figure of fascination and contradiction. Subscribers who initially came for the spicy content are now exposed to high-level STEM lessons, and the media that previously condemned her now has a narrative of intellectual recovery to report on. She is using the massive, volatile income from the subscription platform as a temporary scholarship, a means to an end to self-finance her intellectual career on her own terms. The final structural piece of this strategy is the relentless self-improvement angle. She posts updates on her life, including her car and home, not as brag posts, but as financial receipts to reinforce her core message that the system forced her hand and now she is free. The payout here is the answer to our third question. She is deliberately cross-promoting by using the vast, immediate wealth of the spicy content industry to fund a non-monetized, passion-driven public intellectual career, securing the ability to produce content without being reliant on either a meager academic stipend or traditional YouTube advertising. In summary, the viral story of Zara Dar's million-dollar pivot is a powerful example of the expectation versus reality in the creator economy. The expectation was the story of the individual creator striking it rich and gaining autonomy. The reality is the story of a powerful agency system, leveraging an authentic personal story of academic underpayment to generate massive, fast-burn revenue, keeping a significant cut in the process through complex ghost chatting operations. The financial figure was real as gross revenue, but the net payout was heavily diminished. Her alleged debt-free status was likely an exaggeration to maximize the emotional impact of the narrative. The ultimate takeaway for anyone looking at the creator economy is this: if the financial success is instantaneous and massive, look for the agency. Look for the coordinated network. The power doesn't disappear, it simply moves from the traditional institution, like the university, to the opaque management group that facilitates the viral moment. The autonomy creators often claim is usually just the freedom to create the content, while the logistics of monetization and fan interaction are outsourced for maximum profit. If you want to dive deeper into the hidden contracts, the ghost chatter schemes, and the financial reality of the spicy content business, make sure to check out our Velvet Rope Industry Secrets playlist linked on the end screen. It's the essential next step to understanding the game behind the glamour.